Yo, what's up guys, it's the Insane Game Freak here to bring you a discussion video with the videos of discussion. Anyways, this video is actually going to be about Pokemon Wii U. Here's the thing, and I thought this was interesting, because every Nintendo home console since probably the N64 has had a Pokemon home console game, whether it's something like Pokemon Stadium to something like Pokemon Coliseum. And obviously that means that eventually the Wii U will get one too. So this kind of video is more so a discussion about what game we want that to be. In my opinion, is a little controversial because as I've learned through the years of being on the internet, the type of game I want them to make is not necessarily the most appealing, I'll put it that way. Because the game I'm more interested in them making for the Wii U is not another Stadium game, and I'll get into my reasons why as the video continues, but it's actually another Coliseum or XD type of game. And I hear that franchise, that part of the Pokemon series isn't necessarily loved, but to me personally, I thought it was a nice spin-off, and it had a lot of cool aspects to it that I enjoyed. So first of all, let me explain why I don't want another Stadium game. The last Stadium game we got, or the Stadium style game we got, was, I believe, Battle Revolution. And for all intents and purposes, Battle Revolution is a poor man's Stadium game. That's what it is, because that game has the game really just goes off a really restrictive character customization, an online system, another way to transfer your DS Pokemon titles into a 3D Pokemon game, and it's pretty much just a Stadium game. It doesn't even have mini games. You can't even fight gym leaders. You're literally just fighting tournaments. That is the whole point of the game, to just fight tournaments and fight online battles. And I've said this before, but to me, out of the 3D Pokemon games, Revolution is the weakest. But the real reason why I don't think we really need another Stadium-ish game, period, is because one of the biggest appeals about Pokemon Stadium was seeing your Pokemon in 3D fight. With X and Y out already covering that base now, it brings up the question, why would you need that now? Why would you need a Pokemon game to show you 3D Pokemon when the handheld games have now moved into the 3D realm? Therefore, half of the appeal of a new Pokemon 3D game is already shot in the foot. We don't need it because we've already seen it and we have it on our 3DSs, and we don't need a console to show us that same concept anymore. The advantage of the XD and Coliseum titles, though, was the fact that it was a story-driven Pokemon game that had different mechanics. One of the coolest mechanics that I think people used to hack their games to do this anyway, is the ability to steal other people's Pokemon. There were hacks in the older versions of games to do this anyway. So the fact that they've made a game based around that mechanic was interesting, and the story was interesting, and we got these interesting characters with this interesting world, the land of Oros, I believe it was pronounced. It was cool, and we got these cool characters, and it wasn't like a stereotypical Pokemon. It was kind of a darker tone Pokemon game. Honestly, Coliseum is darker than XD, and that's partially due to, I think one of the biggest problems with Coliseum XD in general was Coliseum suffered from the fact that it still kept the really bad tradition of having the main character not talk, which wouldn't be a big deal if he was just a normal character like he is in XD. But when we first start the game, he's a villain turning good guy, and he has no real development because he doesn't talk. There are even in certain scenes seem really awkward. Like for example, when I think the girl traveling with you, I believe her name is Ruri. Well, it's implied that it's really Ruri because it's the first name that shows up when you give him the option to name her. When she finds out that you used to be a part of Team Snag'em, you have this kind of conversation with her, but it's more so her just assuming shit because you don't talk, and it's like, oh, that doesn't work as well. I feel like, and I understand it's probably because that didn't even work out as well as they wanted it to, that we didn't get a Wii sequel to that. I feel like they should try again for the Wii U. The GameCube was a home to a lot of weird and kind of experimental titles, like things like Luigi's Mansion. And I feel like, or Billy Hatchet and the Giant Egg for that matter. Granted, that's not Nintendo, but you know, Sega get a little reckless. But my whole point is that it was a very interesting game for its time, and even now I still think of it as one of my favorite Pokemon 3D titles anyway. And considering how less interesting the idea of another Stadium game really is now, there's no reason to just do another Stadium game. I think another Coliseum game would be in order, but take it a step further. Don't bullshit it. Don't try to keep it to standard Pokemon traditions. It's like you guys keep saying, it's a spin-off. It has nothing to do with the base canon of the series, or the little canon that the games do have. So if that's the case, then simply just do a game kind of like Coliseum, more like Coliseum than XD. XD was okay, but I think Coliseum overall is a better game. And this time, and get even more reckless with it. Try voice acting again. I understand that you guys have had somewhat of a rocky past with voice acting, Mario Sunshine, for example. But we've gotten some great stuff lately. Like, for example, Fire Emblem Awakening or Kid Icarus Uprising. I think you should do another Coliseum game and try doing full voice acting. Have your main character talk. Try to actually make a good story with Pokemon, because it's not hard. You did a pretty good job in Black and White for all intents and purposes. And X and Y, even though not as good, it's still a relatively decent story for what it's worth. I would try to take another dark tone with it, and even do it in the same region. Why? Well, it's a few more years pass, give us a new character, and we get to see the same regions well, not all the same regions, obviously, but some newer regions, newer parts, plus some of the older parts of the Oros region in like HD. I feel like that would be a more interesting Pokemon experience than just doing another Stadium tie-in game. But if you were going to do another Stadium tie-in game, I would say, for the love of God, make it like the original N64 Stadium games and not fucking Battle Revolution. The only thing about Battle Revolution I think you should take away is maybe the Coliseums were actually challenging in Battle Revolution. I'll give it that, and I'll give it the trainer customizations and the outfits. But then again, you do that in X and Y now, so it seems only natural to do it here. And give us the ability to fight all the gym leaders from all 6 regions at this point. Bring back the mini games. Just make it kind of a big cluster, like the best Stadium game you can possibly make for the Wii U. It's not like it can't run it. And it'd be interesting to see HD models of all the Pokemon, because we have yet to see that, so you have that going for you. But if I had to specifically pick something I would personally want, I would want another Coliseum game, or just do something. Either, if I had to pick, I'd rather just have a story-driven Pokemon game. It doesn't necessarily have to be dark, just a story-driven Pokemon game on the Wii U. Specifically just because we don't really need another Stadium game. As I said before, X and Y has now made the jump to 3D. So half of the appeal of 3D Pokemon games is shot in the foot, because now you have your 3D Pokemon game. Also, we're hoping we're going to get a Gen 3 remake within the next year or two. Oh, please let that happen, because I'm so ready. But that's just kind of my whole point. In terms of a Pokemon Wii U title, I would like another Coliseum game. I want the Wii U. The way I view the Wii U is kind of the way I view the GameCube, a very experimental console. The GameCube to me was one of those consoles in which Nintendo got really weird with the way it wanted to do things. And I would like to see the Wii U, and the Wii U in the same vein is kind of doing that too. You have Super Mario 3D World, which isn't a traditional Mario game that we're used to at this point. Wonderful 101. Sonic Lost World. We got those weird experimental games. What, Hyrule Warriors? See my point? I think the Wii U could be kind of the next GameCube in that kind of mindset. And Pikmin 3 for another example, which is funny because Pikmin, the last Pikmin was on the GameCube. So maybe that's just me, but that's just kind of a mind process I was going through. But please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. Would you like to have another Coliseum game? Would you rather have another Stadium game? Do you think they can do improvements to Battle Revolution? Please leave them in the comment section below. Tell me how you think about this style of video. I plan to really, if I do this more, I'm only going to really do this with video game videos. I don't want to do this with all my videos, just the video game ones. So please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching. This has been the Insane Game Freak. If you like the game, let it win. And I'll catch you guys later. Peace.